Stretch your legs out. Let your hips and your back settle toward the floor. And take a few nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more. Raise your arms overhead, turn your wrists inside out, so we're clasping the hands. Step your feet on the mat, pretty wide apart. Begin to drop your knees side to side. Alternatively, you can also place your head onto the clasp with bent elbows, whichever feels better. Try to breathe into the lower lungs. Next time your knees drop to the left, pause and cross your left leg over. Good, and then keep the legs crossed the same way and just collapse them over to the right. Come back to center, uncross, but then drop your legs to the right again, and this time cross right over left. You should feel this in your left hip, couple breaths. And then collapse your knees to the left. Back to center. Have both knees into your chest and rock side to side. Good. Pause and extend your right leg to the ceiling. Left leg slides down to the floor. Point and flex your foot several times. Or circle it. Good. Now flex your foot as much as you can and pull that leg in. You can even lift your torso up if you want. Just climb your hands up the leg. Another thing, you want to not bend your right knee too much. Press that knee away from you to get that maximum stretch in your hamstrings. Good. Into lying pigeon. Step your left foot on the ground, cross the right ankle on top, and then bend the knees in. And movement if you want to rock side to side. Good. Release, uncross, and now let's extend the left leg up and slide the right leg down. Same thing on the left leg. Begin to point and flex your foot. Circle the ankle. Good. Either lift your head and shoulders off the ground, climb up the leg, or do so lying down. Press that knee away from you. Think of the back of the knee being open and broad. And coming to lying down pigeon. Left knee crosses over. Good. Unwind. And let's come up to seated position. Cross right shin in front of left. Good. Let's have our belt handy, but for now, let's just rotate the trunk 4 or 5 times in each direction. Try to really sweep the chest close to the floor. And then bring the trunk to stillness. Take your fingertips lightly somewhere onto your shoulders, and let's rotate the elbows, warming up the shoulders. You feel that movement, shoulder blades move away from the spine as your elbows come forward, and they move toward the spine as the elbows go back. Reverse. Good. Now your body is ready to possibly fold forward. So grab the buckle or just the belt in your left hand, left elbow up, right elbow under. Walk your hands close together on the belt. And when you're ready, fold forward. And slowly come up. Release. Swing your right leg behind you, left hand behind you and off to the side, and lift your hips. Stretch that whole right side down so the right knee stays on the floor. Release down. Good. Lastly, extend that right leg out to the right. Little bend in the knee, arms reach up and interlock. Inhale. And curve the head in, the chest in, round your upper back, come down. Breathe into the back of your lungs now, 2 more. Good, and let's come back up. Release your hands, shake out your legs briefly. Now let's bring the left shin across in front of the right. Good, roll the shoulders back and down. Quickly for the head, keep the collarbones broad, shoulders over hips, and lower your head to the right. You want to even place your hand on the left ear. That's your right hand. No yanking, just place the weight there. Make your left shoulder extra heavy. Good, switch. Come back to neutral, hands on the knees. Retract your chin a little like a double chin and draw your chin down to the chest. Keep the chest lifted. We're stretching the back of the neck. On your next inhale, lift your chin up. Keep it up. Keep breathing. Teeth together. Good. Slowly come back to neutral. And side bend. Arms sweep up. Inhale. Right hand down, side bend. So lift your left ribs. Good. Both arms up. Inhale deeply. And left side. Both arms up. Inhale. Hands at the heart center to namaste. Grab your belt again. This time right arm up, left arm under. Once it's taut between your hands on the belt, fold forward. Main breath, come up. Release the belt. Left leg swings behind you and lift. Lower back down. Extend left leg left. Sit on both sitting bones here. And let's curve in to fold over the left leg. Good, and up we go. Release your arms. Let's move on to a tabletop pose. Begin to arch and round. One more, very slowly and mindfully. Good, neutral spine. Let's come down to our forearms, walk the knees closer together. Let's warm up the glutes here before we lunge. Take the right foot, flex it, and 15 times press that heel straight up to the ceiling. So not only, that's about 3, not only are you working your glutes and hamstrings, but you're stretching your hip flexors. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, good. Release down, come up onto your hands, and step that same right foot forward. Back toes tuck. Now make sure your shoulders are down the back. Lift your left knee. You might want to get a really long stance here, so try not to be really high. Wiggle the left foot way back, so you're taking out most of your mat. And now sink your pelvis down, but try to keep your left knee as straight as possible. And lastly, lift your chest up. We're going to go right into our pyramid pose. So step your left foot halfway forward. Use your blocks if you need. And let's rotate the right hip back and push the weight into the back foot. So you have now 2 straight legs. If you feel flexible, only if, walk your hands over to the right side of that foot, so your hips rotate left a little. Good. Unwind and go into downward dog. Try it out for a moment. Keep your hips nice and high. Good. Lower back to the knees, lower back to your forearms. Knees close together, front ribs in. And let's flex the left foot and 15 times. Press that heel straight to the ceiling. That's 3. Kick it high. 4. Think of straightening the leg backward. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Knee down, slide up onto your hands and step that same left foot forward, setting up crescent lunge. Or with your fingertips down, actually take again that really long stance. Press that right thigh bone up and back, sink your hips down, lift your chest out. And now step the right foot halfway up. Come into your pyramid pose. Again, use your props if you like. Left hip can roll back, and you can even exaggerate this by walking your hands to the left. Just honor how flexible or stiff you feel today. Good, walk your hands back to center, and move it back to down dog once more. Turn it out. Good, and now separate the feet a little wider and walk your hands back to the feet. And here we are in a forward bend, feet nice and wide. If you want to squat down with a couple times, do that, lift off the heels as you hit lower. Breathe. Eventually just settle into your forward bend. Now rolling up to standing. Just the camera for a moment. Good. So I'll change to come to just standing somewhere on your mat. And we'll start with a balanced posture. So you're just going to step your feet together and take your left knee, bend it. You can take your arms out or at the hips, by the way. I like taking my arms out to balance. Just pick up your left knee. Ground yourself through your intention. And just release. Good, switch sides. Find your inner balance. And release. Good, separate the feet a little, shake it up. Good. Now, with your feet about hip width apart, I'd like you to take your left foot and step it behind your right foot. Now, most of my weight, or a lot of my weight, is in my left foot, so that's the foot that's behind me. Like I take a step back. And now just raise your left arm overhead to the right. The idea is that you feel a stretch off the left thigh and all the way up the left side. Stepping back into that left foot. Good, release back to neutral. Now step your right foot behind your left ankle, weight steps back into that right foot, and right arm overhead. Good, back to mountain pose. Take a grounding breath. And now let's set up warrior one. Left foot steps back. Lunge forward into the right knee and sweep your arms up. Now wrap your left arm under the right. Lift your elbows up. So what you can do here, let's say you have a full bind. I want you to press your elbows into each other. So in the bind, your right elbow presses a little right and the left elbow resists left. Feel that stretch between your shoulder blades. Maybe lift your elbows up and breathe, or lunging. Good. Release and open to warrior two. Heel to heel alignment or heel to arch alignment, whatever feels better. The difficulty is I just have to correct that in my pose too. Your chest turns completely sideways, so you're square with your hips. Only your head turns to the right hand. Right forearm to the thigh. Right hand toward the floor. Inside of the ankle, breathe. Good. Press back to warrior two. And straighten your right leg. Turn your feet sideways, so both feet are parallel with each other. Hands to the back of the pelvis. If you can, turn your fingertips up. Great stretch for your wrist. Get broad in the collarbones. And eventually fold forward. You want to lunge side to side, adjust your feet if you want, and just drop your weight to the right side and to the left. Good, finish that round. Stand in front of your heels, not just in the heels, for one more deep breath. Hands to the sides of your pelvis. Long spine, so lift out your chest and come up. Good, step forward. Mountain pose, pause. Right foot steps back, warrior one. Arms up. And now wrap your right arm under the left. Same thing here again. So if you did this side already, do the opposite side. Lunge into that left side. Elbows lift and press into each other. Accompanied by gentle, deep breaths. Good. Open to warrior two. You want to forearm to thigh? You can stay there, or left hand to the floor. Breathe into the lower lungs. Press back up to warrior two. And straighten that left leg. Shorten your stance and turn your feet parallel again. Have your block ready, you might need it, and put it just in front of you. Good. Let's do either the same stretch again for the wrists here, palms turning into the spine, fingertips up. Walk your hands up the back and open your armpits. Or you can clasp your hands. Good. Release and fold in. First, just folding. Good, and now the block can come into play. Put it underneath your chest. Press into it so you do like a look up, lengthen movement, and you lift out your chest. And now raise your left arm. Turn that chest as much as you can. Feel like you're wrapping your right side of the ribs in. And switch. Good, release. And press back up to standing. Since we're here, we're going to go right into triangle, and I'll face you here for a moment. It's easier for this space-wise. Triangle into half moon. So from that wide-legged stance, turn your right foot out, place the block somewhere to the big toe side, and the block, obviously, you move how you need. First triangle. Weight shifts to the back foot. So imagine your person pulls you on your right arm forward, down. Nice stretch if you take that right outer hip and wrap it inward, kind of like underneath you. Good. When you're ready, come back up first. Keep that right foot turned up, and now to half moon pose. Same as we just discussed in warrior 2, right? Your chest tries to be square with your hips into the room, so don't turn your chest to the floor. Now tip, the stronger you make your left leg, make it firm, so find that left quad, press the heel away from you, like it's an extension of your spine. Maybe hands to heart. Find a wall if this is too hard. Good, when you're done, release. And let's move the block to the left foot. Triangle pose first. Right heel slightly back, arms out. Someone's pulling on that left hand. And triangle pose. Good. Come back up, and we'll go into half moon pose. And feel that right leg as a connection and extension of your spine. So everything is broad and tall, your chest is lifting out. Hands to heart if you want. And come out. Good. Shake it out. All right, that was it for standing, so have a seat, please. And as a matter of fact, let's go into our hero first. So grab your block. Feel free to always lie on your belly if you want. Otherwise, kneel, roll your calves out. And those of you who have a block and the bolster, you can use both to lay back. Sit on the block and go on the pose. Once you're in a variation that you feel like you can relax into, take about 8 breaths. Become one with your breath. All right. When you're done, you can either press back to down dog, you can do a vinyasa even, or just follow me and all fours, press one, heel back, and then the other. Do a couple rounds of that. Good. All right. So from here, we're going to take the right foot forward and come to lizard. The footsteps almost to the edge of the mat. Slide your left knee back. So there's two versions of lizard. Well, there's many, but one you can lower to the forearms, and the other you purposely drop your hips, but you lift your chest. Good. Release and let's switch to the other leg. Good. Now release and briefly go to child's pose. Now lay on your belly. I will just verbally instruct the next part. Lay on your belly, please. Bring your legs together and setting up a cobra, we're going to bring the hands to the sides of the chest, elbows tucked in. So your forehead is still on the ground. Now firm your legs, make them really straight, and on an inhale, lift your head and chest only for cobra. So you have that broad collarbone area. You feel the upper back. You really feel the entire musculature from your back to your heels. Good, lower back down. Rest for a breath. Good. Now bring your feet slightly wider and walk your hands also slightly wider. Still cobra-like movement here. On an inhale, this time I want you to come up by pressing into your hands. Lift your whole chest off the ground. Lift everything except your belly button off the ground. Your legs are also pressing into the floor. So this time, we're not just using the back, we're using our triceps, so in our arms. Keep holding the pose, keep pressing the floor with your hands. One more breath. And release. Relax, turn your head to one side. We got two more here. Next one, extend your arms out to the sides. Chin or forehead on the mat, legs together behind you. Your weight is resting on the hips, the front of your hip points, right? So press your hips into the floor. Now an inhale, lift your arms and legs off the ground. Your head is floating. So in essence, only your front hips are on the floor, and maybe some of the belly. Everything is lifting off the ground. And let it go. Relax, turn your head to the opposite side. Deep belly breath, connecting again. Good, last one. You can always repeat what we just did. Last one, chin your forehead on the mat. Bend your legs behind you and reach back to grab your ankles. Not if you have back pain or knee pain today. Then repeat another one. Good. When you're ready in this bow pose, the arms are lazy, they don't work here. Lift your head and now press your heels back and up. So you're kicking your legs back, which will drag your arms back. And hold that for about 3 breaths. Strong glutes and legs here. The shoulders, the elbows, the wrists relax. And drop it. Let it go. And come back into child's pose. Counter stretch. Step back. Good. And let's take it into our hip stretching. Move back to downward dog. Sweep your right leg to the ceiling in down dog, and then forward to pigeon. You can lay all the way down or prop up like a sphinx on your forearms. Three more breaths. Turn the attention inward. Find that inner silence. Good. After that, grab your left ankle. Release, and back we go down. And I'm just going to stay on my forearms. Just protect my wrist a little more. Just tread it out and down dog. And sweep your left leg up. And forward into pigeon. And your right leg, grab the ankle. Good. Release. Sit over into your left hip. Step your right foot up over. So here we go. Right foot steps over left knee. If this feels real tight, just straighten your left leg and we'll turn left into a twist. Keep your spine long, including your neck. Good. Unwind. And let's switch to the other side, twist. Left foot steps over, we twist to the right. Feel that outward energy out through the crown. Good. Unwind. Shake out your legs in front of you. Good. And we'll come into our bow pose. So step your feet up. You can hold the backs of your thighs. Now for a moment, slouch. You want to not do this pose from a slouching position. Now lift your chest up, brace your stomach like a corset, And now pick up your feet. You can keep holding the knees or you can reach your arms forward. Release. Drop your knees apart. Pull the heels in. Let's rotate the knees out and down. You can even very gently pat your thigh bones down. Just kind of press on the muscles. You want to lean in. Another option. Release. Now take your right leg straight forward. So this is different from what we did earlier, right? Where we did went like this. Here you straighten your leg straight forward. Keep the foot flexed, arms reach overhead. Now I want you to take your right hand and reach it over to the left knee and side bend, turning the chest left side, bend over toward that right foot. Come back, both arms up, inhale, square your shoulders to the right foot and fold in. Right, come up again, and release your hands down. Switch, left leg forward, right heel in. Arms up, inhale. Reach your left hand over to the right knee, so your chest has to turn right, and then side bend toward the left foot. Now raise both arms up, square the chest forward, inhale, and fold in. Come back up. And release your hands down. Good. From here, we'll take it to the floor. Lying back. And just straighten your legs out for a moment and breathe. Good. We'll do a lazy bridge. As a matter of fact, we have time for two. The first will work. The second, we will use our block. So step your feet on the mat, about hip width apart. Imagine if you take your arms down by your sides, you can't reach your heels. They're just out of reach of your fingertips. Good. And then lift up. Activate your feet. Press them into the floor. Press the tops of your thighs up. And release down. Rotate your pelvis like an arching rounding in tabletop. The cat-cow we do, just kind of rotate the tailbone to the low back. Tailbone, really nice opener for the L5, S1 area, where a lot of people have compression. Good. Now that very same area, we're going to stretch open again. Now, depends on how tall you are, but you want that block pretty high. So I'm going to actually put it the highest way I can. Put the block right across my sacrum. And my hips completely rest, so there's no weight on my feet right now. My hips are resting on that block. Great stretch for your whole front here. I'm feeling this in my abs, in my hip flexors. You might feel it in your quads. And of course, the pressure of the block might just shift that sacrum back into place. This should not hurt at all, or don't do it. About 3-4 more breaths. And this is also great if you sit a lot. We tend to not sit up super straight, but with a little rounded back. And this really brings that length into the low back again. Good. To come out, carefully lift off of the block, pull it out, and release your hips down. And just best to rest for a moment with your legs straight. Good. Let us find our belt and put it around the right foot. Extend that leg out. Some of you I know like to pull the leg in, let it go and pull it in. The only thing, if you do that, try to flex your foot and have your knee fairly straight and don't yank. Just really softly listen to the body where your limit is. Lower the leg over to the right eventually. Come up and lower your leg to the left. Come back up and switch legs. Continue to breathe into the lower lungs. Keep that parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, keep that active with the long breaths. Lower the leg to the left. Come up and lower it to the right. Good. Come back up and release the leg down. Pause. We're going to go right into fish position. You can either do it over the block, or you can just do it over the elbows like I do, palms facing up or down, hands close to the hips or underneath your hips, and then initiate the movement by pressing into your elbows and lifting your chest. All right, release them. Once you're down, gently roll your head side to side. Head to center, happy baby pose. And release. Good. If you have a final twist or anything that you would like to finish your practice with, you can do that now. And otherwise, join me in Shavasana. And once you're in Shavasana, just allow your body to sink into the floor. Allow your facial muscles to relax, including your tongue and your jaw. Imagine the eyes roll deep into their sockets, and you're turning your gaze inward. Just observe the ebb and flow of your breathing and try to not control it. Let your mind become quiet, like you're trying to listen to something barely audible. Deepen your next breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Raise your arms up. Release your arms down and bend your knees in. And roll to one side into a fetal pose. And sit up. Gesture of gratitude for whatever you're grateful for in this moment. Place your palms together. Namaste.